Dear students, welcome back to English class. In today's English class for grade 10, we are going to see poem 7 from First Flight book, Animals. This poem is written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is a major figure in early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhyme and metrical poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry which was in free verse. The word free verse means a poem without rhyme scheme. So here the poem Animals is written without rhyme scheme. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself, which is taken from the book In Leaves of Grass. So here in this poem, the poet has described a beautiful comparison between human beings and animals. And further, he pointed out the evils which is present inside the human being, which he thinks animals don't have. And he proves that, and he gives reason that animals are much better than human beings. So now, let's move on to the summary of the poem. Summary of the poem. In the poem Animals, the poet has described his will to become an animal. And he further gives reason why he wants to become an animal. He thinks animals are far better than human beings. And he says human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other. But animals, they are calm and self-contained. And animals are happy with what they have. But human beings, they always complain about their miseries and sorrows. But animals, they never complain about miseries and sorrows. And human beings, they give importance to the rich and strong people, and they stay restless for their wrongdoing. And they run behind their luxurious things of this world. But the animals here are honest about their relation, and they don't give importance to a particular class. And they live a life which is full of honest and less of greed and jealousy. Now, let's move on to the poem. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Here the word placid means calm, peaceful. Placid, calm, peaceful. Contained, keep up control. Contained, keep up control. Placid, calm, peaceful. Contained, keep up control. The first line starts with I. Here the word I refers to the poet. Here the word I refers to the poet. So here the poet is Walt Whitman. So he has shown the comparison between human beings and animals in this poem. The poet has shown the difference between the human beings and animals in this poem. He has given a comparison. Okay, so then he says that he wants to live in the world of animals. Then further he gives reason. Who gives reason here? The poet gives reason that he wants to live in the world of animals. So first he says he wants to live in the world of animals. Then next he gives reason why he wants to live in the world of animals. First thing he says, the world of animals is better than that of human beings. He says animals are calm and peaceful than humans. And animals, they are not running after worldly things like human beings. We human beings, we are not satisfied with what we have. But animals, they are satisfied with what they have. So because of that reason only, what the animals, they are not running after the worldly things. And they are very calm and have no greed of worldly things or any kind of achievements. And animals are self-contained. Self-contained means they are happy with life and they never interfere in the lives of others. Then he says that human beings are not happy with what they have, and what do? They always interfere in the lives of others. So the poet thinks that animals are better than human beings. And these animals are calm and they never interfere in the matters of others. And the poet he further says these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. So first the poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals, and next he gives reason why he wants to live in the world of animals. First he says the world of animals is very calm than human beings. And he says that animals, they are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are very calm and they have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievements. And they are very happy with what they have. But human beings are not happy with what they have. And he says human beings have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. So animals are better than human beings for being calm and they never interfere in the matters of others. And the poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animals for a very long time. So now let's move on to the poetic devices. So in the first line you see, I think I could turn. I think I could turn. So you could see use of vowel sound I. I is repeated. I think I could turn. So it is assonance. And next you could see the word I is repeated in two consecutive lines. You could see I is used at the start of two consecutive lines. Can you understand? The first line starts with I think I could turn and the second line starts with I stand and look at them. So the two consecutive lines starts with I, so it is anaphora. And in second line you could see the word long and long is repeated, so it is repetition. So first I think I could turn, so the word I, use of vowel sound, is repeated here, so it is assonance. And next you could see I is a word used at the start of two consecutive lines, so it is anaphora. And in second line you could see the word long and long. Second line you could see the word long and long is repeated, so it is repetition. And as we discussed before, this poem is written in free verse, so there is no rhyme scheme for this poem. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Here the word whine means cry, sins, wrongdoing. Whine, cry, sins, wrongdoing. And sweat, here it means complaint. Sweat, here it means complaint. Here in these lines, the poet says, unlike humans, animals don't complain of any miseries. So have you ever seen an animal complaining to someone about their miseries? No, we have never seen an animal complaining of any miseries. But humans, they do. They never cry out loud. Who? The animals, they never cry out loud like human beings do. Animals, they never cry out loud like humans do. So why do the humans cry out loud? To show what they have lost. Because of this reason only, what humans, they cry out loud. Because when they lost something, they cry out loud. And they never stay awake in the night. Who? Animals, they never stay awake in the night. We human beings, what do? We stay awake in the night, crying in repentance for their wrongdoing. So this, because of this reason only, the poet says that animals are different from human beings. And he says animals, they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. The poet says the animals, they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens to them. And he further says animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. So what he is saying, the animals are always truthful and they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. But we human beings, what do? We boast and we want to gain the attention of the people. So because of this reason, what do? If we do any good thing, we boost ourselves. Okay, so in these lines, the poet says, unlike humans, animals don't complain of any mysteries and they never cry out loud like human beings to show what they have lost. And humans, they stay awake in the night thinking about their wrongdoings. But animals, they never stay awake in the night. So because of this reason only, the poet says that animals are different from human beings. And animals, they don't show anger or grief if something wrong happens with them. And humans, they show their anger or grief if something wrong happens to them. And he further says animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. So now let's move on to the poetic device. So you could see that three lines starts with they do not. So use of repeated words at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. So it is anaphora. Use of repeated words at the beginning of two or more consecutive lines. It is anaphora. And next, metaphor. Here the word sweat means complaint, wine means cry. So comparison between two dissimilar things. Sweat means complaint, wine means cry. So it is metaphor. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. The word demented means mad, disturbed. The word demented means mad, disturbed. Mania, mental illness marked by periods of great excitement. Mania, mental illness marked by periods of great excitement. In these lines, the poet says, human beings, they try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. So why do the human beings try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others? Because they want to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks animals never irritate him by doing such things to gain some praise from their fellow people. And he further says animals are not dissatisfied like humans. Yes, already it's mentioned in the first stanza. Animals are happy with what they have. The word self-contained means they are happy with what they have. Animals, they stay happy with whatever they have. And they never run behind the worldly things. And they never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. So here the poet says that none of them is mad behind owning the worldly things. But only human, they run behind their worldly things. They want to gain more and more and more wealth. They are not satisfied with whatever they have. So in these lines, the poet says that humans, they show their good deeds and religiousness to others in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks that animals, they never irritate him by doing such things to gain popularity or some praise from their fellow people. He feels that animals are not dissatisfied like humans. Humans, they are not satisfied with whatever they have. But they are animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. So they never run behind the worldly things. They never possess things of comfort or luxury. He says that none of them is mad behind owning the worldly things. But human, they are not happy with what they have and they run after the worldly things. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me, and I accept them. Not one kneels to another, nor to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relation to me and I accept them. Kneels, bow down. So here in these lines, the poet says that he has never seen an animal showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. But we could see a human doing this. We could see the animals never do this. What they never do? They never show his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. But we could find humans doing this. Even animals, they never do so, even for their ancestors also. So they do not show devotion towards God like humans do. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in the human society. In human society, there is no equalism. So everyone is not treated equally. But in animal society, everyone are treated equally. In human beings, rich people are generally given more importance and they are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But in the society of animals, they never do so. So they never give more or less importance to any other animal. So everyone in the animal world is happy. Why? Because there is no differentiation among them. Everyone are equal. So because of this reason, the poet says that everyone in the animals world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest on them and saddest on the other. Okay, so in these lines, the poet says that he has never seen an animal what showing his devotion to anyone by bowing down in front of the person. But the animals, they never do so even for their ancestors. They do not show devotion towards God like human do. So in animal society, everyone are treated equally. No one among them is more respectable or important as we have in the human society. In human society, we give only to importance to whom? To the rich people. But in animal society, everyone are equal. In human society, rich people are generally given more importance and they are treated with more respect as compared to the poor. But the society of animal, they never do so. They never give more or less importance to any other person. So everyone in the animal world is happy. They are not like human beings who find themselves the happiest or the saddest person on the earth. They bring me tokens of myself, the evince them plainly in their possession. They bring me tokens of myself, they evince them plainly in their possession. The word evince means show or reveal. Evince, show or reveal. Possession, ownership of something. Possession, ownership of something. Tokens here refers to the qualities of human beings. In these lines, the poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relation with other animals. Why he says so? Because if he wants to say that animals use other animals as their food, they never try to hide this. Whereas human beings show that they have a nice and friendly relationship with others. But in reality, it is opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. The poet says that animals are more honest in showing their relationship with other animals. If he wants to say the animals use other animals as their food, they never try to hide this. But human beings, they show that they have a nice and a friendly relationship with others, though the reality is opposite. The poet says that he accepts the fact that animals are true towards showing their relation with other animals. So now let's move on to the poetic device. Here the word tokens, it refers to the inner qualities of human beings. Inner qualities of human beings. So it is metaphor. The word tokens here, it refers to the inner qualities of humans. So it is metaphor. Now the last two lines of this poem. I wonder where they get those tokens. So tokens you know already. Tokens means which refers here to the inner qualities of a human. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So here the I refers to whom? I refers to the poet. Who is the poet here? Walt Whitman. So here the word negligently means carelessly. Negligently means carelessly. So at last the poet, what he is doing? He introspects himself and says that from where the animals got those good qualities. And now he further asks question to himself and he gives answer. He asks question to himself that where his own good qualities are gone. And next he gives answer for that question. Did he left them or had carelessly lost them somewhere? The qualities that were found in human beings in the past, like innocence, kindness, truthfulness, are now seen in animals. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have been passed on to the animals. So here in this last two lines, the poet, what he is doing? The poet introspects himself and says from where the animals got those good qualities. And he further asks question to himself and he gives answer for that question. He questions himself that where his own good qualities are gone. Now he gives answer for that. Did he left them or carelessly lost them somewhere? So in past, these qualities where he mentioned above, above. So he's saying that all those qualities were found in human beings in the past, like what? Like innocence, kindness, truthfulness. Now these qualities are found in animals, not in human being. He wonders that humans gave up these qualities and they have passed on to the animals. So he ends with a question and answer. So this is the end of the poem 7, Animals. Thank you.